Welcome everyone, this is Pilot Needles and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at latest news and LOTRO and hear LOTRO players. And this week we have with us Sanswinda!
Hello.
And Krister!
Hello.
Hello there! Let's go and look at the latest patch notes because they have an update 33.1.1 to take care of a few issues that they had with 33.1. And the first of these issues was that they have reversed the changes on raids and in relation to advancing quests and accomplishments or acquiring quest items on the landscape.
Hooray!
Yay! So,
To me, that was the equivalent of saying you can't raid with pants anymore.
So now you can raid with your pants. We're not sure about your shoes. So I have a question. Has anybody checked this to see, is any loot dropping, or is it still completely loot free? And also,
well, it has to be at least, it can't be completely loot free because they say you'll be acquiring quest items.
Are quest items the same as loot, though? I don't know.
It depends on the quest item.
System. Fair. And then, are accomplishments the same as deeds, or are they different from deeds? These are my questions.
I guess
and I haven't tested it yet, but we're going to have to test it.
Oh yeah, we're going to have to test that.
I like the direction this change is going in, though. I just want to know if I'm raiding with pants and shoes, or just, to use Krister's metaphor.
Well, we'll have to find that out. Players who are not in a contributing fellowship will no longer receive credit or glory for PVMP kills or by healing PVMP participants. I can't parse that out completely. Does anyone understand that better than I do?
Well, I want to say, because I wasn't the biggest PvPer, or PVMP, but I believe it has something to do with the people that are healing people, but that they're healing people that killed other people, and they're getting some credit for that without actually going out there and doing it. They could just sit back and heal people and basically get credit without really wanting to risk themselves, I guess.
In theory, your fellowship would also have to do damage in the fight. Somebody in your fellowship, at least, would have to do damage in the fight for your fellowship
so you can't
to get credit.
You can't just stand there and heal random people running around and get credit anymore.
And this seems fairly fair because unless there's only one person in a fellowship part of a raid, it's very rare for them to be all healers. So I think even if somebody was focused completely on healing, there's a pretty good chance they would have damage dealers with them and would get their credit for it. But I haven't tested it. It just sounds like that's probable.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me, but I wasn't sure because I really don't know exactly how PVMP credit goes and things like that.
Typically pretty similar to landscape, except the heal credit was lasting way longer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've been hearing stories about people getting healing credit for some rather strange circumstances. What? Oh, you're on the other side of the world?
And I think that's probably what they're trying to fix.
Right, okay. Level 140 rewards for the further adventures of Eladon and Elro here are updated in the barter vendor. We have corrected an issue with the new battle task for the Free Peoples in the Entmores. The issue has been addressed, but all advancement towards the metadeeds has been reset, and you will need to start the tasks again. As for classes, for the Brawler's trait trees has been reset for update 33.1.1. If you play a Brawler, please respend your class trait points and save your preferred specs. And the only thing that surprises me here is why didn't they do that for 33.1? I have a feeling that someone must have noticed that, oops, we forgot to reset the class specs, and they decided, okay, we'll do it on the next quick update.
No
Because
one will notice.
no one, I mean, I noticed that pretty much immediately when 133.1 is that there were, wait a minute, you made major changes here without resetting? Unfortunately, that's been dealt with. And the brawler trait Plant Feet was incorrectly set up to require specialization in the Fulcrum blue line and level 45, while the capstone trait Gut Punch was accidentally omitted from the requirements. This has been corrected, so Gut Punch now requires blue line specialization, while Plant Feet no longer requires the specialization. And as for quests, instances, and adventure areas, the further adventures of Eladan and Elrahir can now be repeated. And the injured sentinel in the 5th Further Adventures mission has remembered his manners and will no longer ignore Bjornings.
I think that's one of the best lines in this whole set of notes.
Yeah. I have a feeling that the Bjornings were threatening to double their tolls in the future.
You have 12 Bjornings show up to your house. You're going to agree with whatever they want you to agree with.
As for miscellaneous changes, they corrected Further Adventures' cosmetic bear pet icons. They resolved an issue with PVMP VIP opponent portrait frame views. And the Further Adventures barter list have been renamed to improve clarity. And as for known issues, in the Entmoors, non-VIPs are not reviving properly on the spot.
Ooh, are they like turning into zombies or something? That would be cool.
I have a feeling that's not the case. I'm
I
wondering.
think they're being
Wow.
ported out of the area.
Yeah, but by out of the area, you mean like all the way into Bree and
Probably to
Like
wherever their milestone is set, yeah.
like Sinister Keg port?
No, port like when you're in an overlevel area and you die, port is
Gotcha.
what I think is happening. I'm not completely positive, but that's the gist I was picking up as I was reading the forum. Is it sounds
Okay.
like a very similar behavior.
All right. In other words, it was treating the player as if the Entmoors was a dangerous area.
Yes. Which I guess it technically is, but not in that way.
Yeah, not in the that definition. Yes. The weapon aura of Orc's Bane has its wrong color on Brawler Battle Gauntlets. And premium and free account players cannot use maps to travel to Glanvrig. Now, how serious is that one?
Well, and how awkward is that going to be in the convenience store? The guy comes up with the map, and you're like, I'm sorry. You can't use maps, sir.
Probably something that they'll need to fix, but I've personally not used a map to get there before, so I don't know.
Okay, it's not one of the key maps then.
Free people don't get maps, except for the one to Glanvrig, I don't believe. Because they can use the Stable Master to go to Glanvrig from the regular world, and then they can ride horses around the map. So I don't think they get maps the same way monster characters do.
Okay. I guess I had. Okay, Glanvrig is a free. See, that's right. I can never remember those names. Which ones are the free people's locations? And which ones are the. All right, so those are the maps in order to.
Of course, you can't remember the locations. The free people don't have those maps, so how can you? Sorry.
All right. Anyway, that concludes the update 33.1.1 release notes. And that concludes that. But there is one other issue that they were noting. Now, I'm not completely sure what this means since so far I'm not familiar with it, but this is what the original post said. Brawlers do not get a PVMP rank buff / battlefield promotion. I submitted. Okay, la la la. So, what do they mean by PVMP rank buff / battlefield promotion?
I think as you rank up as a free person, you get buffs to your skills, kind of like monster characters can get when they get their battlefield promotion. It's just a free thing that they go talk to their trainer and they get a buff.
Okay.
And it increases damage dealt, decreases damage taken, does some other cool stuff sometimes. But it's a battlefield promotion that's credited to you whenever you rank up on the Moors. And it would appear that brawlers are not getting that for whatever reason.
Yeah, and apparently they haven't been getting it since the brawler was released.
Dope.
Maybe for the first 7 months, so few people were doing PVMP, it wasn't as important. Also, at noon on Friday, that means the upcoming Friday, so that would be August 5th, there will be an interview with Seth on the Horde time slot that he hasn't been using for the last couple of months. So therefore, at noon on Friday, Seth is going to be interviewed, answering questions and all that for a live Q&A session. So if you have any questions, you can appear there and try asking you what you will. I'm sure there will be plenty of questions on him about various things, shall we say. So if you wish to listen to that live, just head on over to the stream on Friday at noon. And remember, that is noon U.S. Eastern Time. So let's head to our store sales. Sans Window, what's on sale this week?
Well, first off, we have LOTRO bonus days right now through tomorrow. So if you're listening live, you can get a 25% XP boost through tomorrow. And then we have the last week of summer sales. So this week you can get 35% off Virtue Acceleration Tomes, 50% off kites, 75% off the large crafting carryall. Ooh, I know what I need to buy. All the way through August 4th. And you can find your Shadowfax. You'll get 20% off select war steeds and mounts, riding skills, select war steed cosmetics, movement speed buffs, all the way through August 4th. And the weekly coupon is a free +5 hope boost for 90 minutes. And the coupon code is 5HOPE. That's the number 5, HOPE. Now through August 4th as well.
Right, thank you for that. So let's head into our week in gaming. And since I don't see an entry for it.
I had class all day, every day. But I did do a few things. I'll work on that.
Okay. We'll start then with Krister.
All right, yeah. So last night we had our T2 Hidden Horde raid. We have had a couple of our more experienced people return to the kin, and they've been raiding Tier 3, so their tactical advice has been very helpful. And what was really nice about last night was we had 3 people knocked off the platform in the Boss 1 fight. Yet, not only did we complete the Boss 1 fight, it went smoothly the entire time. And so what's really been nice about it is to understand that when we exceed the timer, that we can survive. And if we're in a good position, we can win through. So what was nice being 3 people down, and we still had a very smooth boss run completion. And things were much better controlled all the way up to the second boss. And we had we had a moment where we honestly thought we were going to push through it, and it was just before phasing into the chandelier phase. But it just with those, each one person, no matter how many reses you have, going one person down creates such a calamity that's just typically hard to not let that cascade out of control. So it was very frustrating to feel like we had everything in control and then have it spin out. But what was great about it is even though we died over and over again on boss 2, everybody was in really high spirits because we definitely have made a ton of progress now that we've kind of gotten more regular people back consistently now. So looking very forward to next Friday. I have a very good feeling that we might get through boss 2. And then, of course, one of our returners has been filling us with dread about the next boss. So nobody's going to be exactly thrilled to get through the next boss because then we just have to face this even worse person. But we're all, the cohesion's there. We've got a good group. It was easy to hug our DPS because we've got everything else filled. So it was just, it's just been really nice to feel like we're progressing. We had 2 teal ring drops last night as well, so that was great. So the only bummer that we had was I had to have a brief thought on our lore master, who's been in our kin forever, has a bear, one of his pets, Lucky, who has upstaged me literally on hundreds of occasions where I have failed miserably at tanking. And this stupid bear comes in and saves the day every time. So, but now with Lucky no longer being able to be aggressive, and we witnessed Lucky die last night, which almost never happened. So it was the lament of Lucky last night, where we hope one day to see the Super Lucky return. So, and then in non-LOTRO stuff, what was that?
Lucky the White.
That's right, and he is white too. So,
okay.
And then in ESO, basically, my orc has gotten into the habit of playing tribute and then threatening the NPC card players when things don't go his way. So he was doing that this week. And then I was in a very strategery mood this week as well. So I had pulled Galciv 3 out, Stellaris, and then Iron Hearts 4. And then in the Minecraft, I had finally figured out what I was going to do in terms of my my contributions to our community, and so I've started to build a big treehouse. And so I was having a lot of fun with that, and I'm looking forward to getting back into there and finishing it up. So, Sans, what have you been up to?
Well, I did play Minecraft some this week. So when our server was up, I made a chicken farm and another wheat farm to help get lots of wheat for Pineleaf's project. And fished up a good enchanted fishing pole that was able to be combined with the one that had mending on it that Krister found to make an awesome enchanted fishing pole. And I helped my nephew with gathering materials for his sugarcane farm. So we should have lots of eggs and sugar. What was your week? How was your week, Pine?
Over on Honor, I managed to complete the quests in Minas Morgul, so I'm done with that storyline, or almost, because I have this epilogue I still need to finish up. So today I managed to get the key, so to speak, in order to unlock us, and find out what the key was supposed to go into and all that stuff. So I have a couple more things to do on it, then I think I'll soon be finished with the Black Book of Mordor, and then I can guess be time for a wedding after that. We'll have to see. Then for Friday Night Fight, we ran some small fellowship quests instances. We ran the school, the library, and then Woe of the Willow. And we were worried at first if we were going to have any trouble because we had 2 champions and a brawler in the group. So not exactly what you call a balanced group. But we managed to do okay. Oh, that's right. We also did Puglach.
Nice.
Yes. So we managed to do those 4 instances without any serious troubles. And over in Minecraft, I collected some frogs and then started building a frog sanctuary. In fact, that was the project I needed the wheat for, because in Minecraft you make mud bricks by combining wheat with mud. So I was able to get some mud bricks, and so I was building the sanctuary with that. But I
Isn't
still
that how
need.
you make a McRib as well? Or no?
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
Well, I have a nice sanctuary now. The problem is, though, I don't have my roof on yet, and I'm going to need a roof before it's complete, because frogs in Minecraft jump pretty far high.
And they're terrifying looking too.
And yes, and they can. So I should soon have a nice frog sanctuary where I could then have frogs hopping all over the place and a nice supply of them, so I could take them to the nether so I could get some frog lights, because the entire reason for this was so that I could go and get some frog lights in the nether. We'll see how that works. And that concludes my week in gaming. We currently have 15 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious raid of players and help support LOTRO players, you can go to the donations page to support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money will be used for our podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. We have no emails this week, but if you like since when, you can send it to podcast@LotraPlayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter. The Players Alliance at Players Ally, LOTRO Players at LOTRO Players, Arendis at Arendis, Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles, Sanswinda at Sanswinda, Terryadwin at Terryadwin, Guarendis at Guarendis, Calabathian at Calabathian, and Krister at Entropy Engine 1. The Players Alliance has two shows on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have LOTRO Players News, and we record DDO Players News when Drac is available. You can choose for our shows at LOTROPlayers.com/live. And that's all for tonight, and this is Pipe Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.